Hello and welcome to the semifinals of our Jets of Time tournament. We today are going to start game one of the losers bracket final. We're here today. We have Korenth and Raster Cecil have fought their way to the end of the losers bracket. We're going to watch them duke it out here in a best of three series. Today I'm joined by Moon Blizzard and Silver Neo. Hi guys.
Hello. Welcome, everyone.
Hi.
Are we all ready? Shall we begin?
We're all ready. We're all keyed up.
Okay, so
as long as our racers are ready, we'll get this underway.
Yeah, so it will be starting very soon, 10 seconds from now. Let's go. I am so hyped for this match, aren't you, Rocky and Silver Neo?
I have been looking forward to this for a while. Korenth and Raster Cecil have both been such strong competitors in this in the tournament, and I just know we're going to see top level play here. So,
yeah, I'm really excited to see this match. So let's go. This is going to be game 1 out of 3 possible. So this is best of 3 matches. So let's see how this is going to go. I'm really curious to see. Let's go. So they should be starting now.
Yeah, and just in case anyone who's watching is not familiar yet with Jets of Time, it's a open-ended, open-world style randomizer for Chrono Trigger. So it spreads key items throughout the world in a random way. It gives you a random selection of characters to choose from, random chests, random vendors, and random tech. And there's a lot of random things. So we'll get more into the details as we go along.
Yeah. So we start with 2 characters in the Millennial Fair. We have access to the Epoch, 600 AD and 1000 AD. So we have a few quest checks for key items available from the start. So we'll be seeing the runners do some shopping, getting a few levels with some battles here that we can grab some quick experience points and tech points early on. And mostly going to buy like ethers, meat tonics, shelters, revives, heals, doing some manually to lower battle speed.
Yeah, that's right. Basic just early game setup. You want to have shelters and revives and maybe some tonics. I mean, at the very least, you can find heals or ethers. That's also great. You're going to want to stock up on those early because you don't want to get into a situation where you don't have them and you need them.
And we see a very early route divergence here. Korenth is doing the desert looting. This is a strategy that you can grab up to 9 chests here in the desert, and the loot is really good for the start of the game because you can access some mid to high items, so that's awesome. While Cecil goes to the Millennial Fair, you do have a guaranteed spot. Melchior does sell revives and shelters guaranteed, and a lot of starting weapons if you like to buy them.
Yeah, after watching some players, could have been Moon Blizzard himself who started this trend of checking the desert early. I've never turned back or gone back on my strats because even if you don't find a weapon or armor for someone you have in your party, which you usually do, it just gives you maybe a couple extra things to sell for gold. You start with 20,000 gold. But you could use more at basically any given time. So I feel like it's a good strategy to get ahead early.
Yeah, it can give you a slight edge to get some better loot and better gear right early on. You can sell things that you don't need. So for example, magic rings, what else? Some kind of items like wallets. You can sell those kind of items that you don't need, so you can get more money to buy weapons or armors or whatever.
Yes,
or
if you find wallets, don't put them on ever. because as you may know, all it does is convert the experience you would normally gain into gold. And boy, I don't know when you would ever want that, but they made it an item.
I don't recall ever using that item in a single run, but
we had one chat. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say they are going to check. Korenth is going to check the hero medal key item spot here.
All right, I was just going to say that a while ago we had a challenge seed in the community Discord, and one of the things you had to do was not exceed level 33. You had to be at level 33 if you were one level over, you would fail the challenge. And so a few of us figured out, hey, there's one way I can do that. You slap a wallet on.
Wow, that is amazing. That is a nice idea. Maybe we should do that again.
Yeah, under those very specific circumstances, you might want a wallet.
Exactly.
But other than that, so Korenth is going into another check here. He's going to check the carpenter's wife here for another key item. Looks like he picked up the hero medal from Snail Stop. I was blabbering, so I might have missed that. While Cecil is rushing, he's rushing the cathedral. He's gonna go for those key item checks a little bit later.
Yeah. So
did you happen to see what he picked up at hero medal check?
Robo's ribbon. It was the Robo's ribbon. Yeah, so Cecil, going to the cathedral, you do have access to another character, so you get another character there. Cecil got Chrono. There is an option that you can do in your route, so you can just go back and avoid finishing cathedral. This is a strategy that can make you go be ahead of the other racer only if you don't require the character that's behind cathedral. Because some characters in Jets of Time, they do enable you to do more checks. For example, Robo enables you to do the Sunken Desert check, and Mal enables you to go and do Prism Shard quest, the Rainbow Shell quest.
That's right. The only other character that can give you progression just by having him is Frog, of course. And as you can see, they actually have none of those characters. So they probably have that in the back of their mind right now. I might need to get some character checking going on a little later, but we'll see how they prioritize that.
And we see already Korenth selling Mega's amulet. That's worth 25,000 gold, but you do lose your status protection. So why would we think amulets are good, and maybe it's a gamble to sell them, Brocky?
It's a gamble to sell it, and I'll tell you why. Because he may have just cost himself 25,000 gold in the long run. If they end up having a Lavos ending here, and we have a couple possibilities for our final boss, Lavos is one of them. Lavos will hit you with status effects, and they're randomized, and you never know what you're going to get hit with. The best strategy against that is to have a blanket status protection from an item like an amulet, or you could use a Vigil Hat, a Prism Helm. There's a Gloom Helm, Nova Armor. There's a few options you're going to have, but you're going to want to have something, because if you don't, and you'll learn this if you don't, he can just put a full stop on your whole team. Everyone has stop cap, and you die.
And a full stop is bad, and we should always avoid it.
Yeah, or full lock. There's a lot of just sticky situations they'll put you into if you don't have status protection. And so unless Korenth finds some from other sources, he might have to go and buy another amulet, which is, put him in the hole in the long run. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll keep an eye on that.
We see a question in chat about Jets of Time. So Jets of Time is an open world randomizer where you have randomized character pickups. Loot from treasure chests and enemy drops, they are all randomized. It is kind of a tired randomized style, so you will not be getting Prism packs from the cathedral, but you get a randomized item from a specific tired loot pool. Key items locations, they are all randomized, so there are 15 checks in total. So you can get the vanilla key items that enables you to progress and open up other time periods. So there are 3 possible winning conditions, like 3 possible goal modes that we will be talking throughout this run. But mainly you have Lavos and the ZO2. Lavos, Magus Castle, Lavos, and ZO2 path to go. But
Yeah,
we'll talk about them more throughout the run.
Yeah, there's 3 different sort of, like you said, winning conditions, 3 different go modes, but there's only 2 final bosses. Two of those paths lead to Lavos. One of them leads to Zeal 2. And I think they're both equally as fast, depending on when you find those key items you need. We need, right now I'm going to say they are probably the closest, technically, to Magus Castle, just because they have that broken blade. That's one of the paths you can take. You can rebuild the Masamune and use Frog to cut open Magic Cave in order to progress to 12,000 BC. That's going to lead to more checks, and if you have the Ruby Knife, that's going to lead to Go Mode. That's just one of the ways.
And let's welcome the Raiders.
Oh, we have the German Speed Gaming channel rating us with a party 57. Welcome, everybody.
Wow, 57. Well, welcome, everyone. So again, we are playing. This is the semi-final first match out of 3. So best of 3, match 1 in the semi-finals for the Jets of Time 2021 tournament. We have Korenth and Raster Cecil playing out the same seed, of course. And they have just started. Korenth is making his way through Cathedral. He just got into an encounter, which is sad because we can skip that encounter, but let's go. And Cecil, he's checking a shop here, Melchior shop. Maybe he's doing Hecaran Cave check. I'm curious to see.
I really do wonder what he's going to do next. He must have checked Snail Stop, but not picked up the hero medal. I know he checked Carpenter's Wife. He did check Snail Stop, but he did not buy it. Is that what happened?
Yeah, he did not buy
Correct.
it.
Okay, so he knows it's there. Okay. It looks like he's going into Hecaran. Basically, the trick to Hecaran Cave is simple. You need magic. And I didn't get a good look at his tech there, but I have a feeling that this is a team that's not going to let him down.
Yeah, let's see. I don't know if Luca has anything already.
Magus can learn. If you do a lot of fights in here, you will actually gain quite a lot of tech points. Like some of these encounters will give you 25 tech points. You do a few of those, you're learning magic very quickly. However, he will be limited in the amount of tech he can learn on 2 of his characters there. Luca and Chrono actually have to go to the end of time and visit Specchio in order to learn the remaining tech. Magus is different. Since he can't learn magic from Specchio, he can actually learn all of his techs without that visit. So technically you could use Magus in this Hecaran Cave. You could grind him up. You could get a lot of juicy tech if you wanted.
Oh, Luminaire. So Chrono having Luminaire here is really good because you can spam Luminaire and do like a one-hit kill, AoE, screen wipe, and Magus will get all the tech points needed because he needs 50 tech points to learn his very first tech. And this is going to be quite fast for him to learn his techs. So maybe this will give an edge for Raster Cecil with Magus having some good techs right from the start. While Korenth, it will take some time for him to learn Magus techs because the fights here in Cathedral, they don't give you much tech points.
No, they're good to kind of bump you up at the very beginning of the game. You get a few levels by the time you get to Yakra, and maybe a couple of techs. Because I think you need 5 tech points for your first tech, and then 15 for your second. As long as you're not Magus, he's a little different. So typically by the end of Cathedral, you'll have collected 20 at least. So you'll have your first 2 tech. But if you go straight to Hecaran from here without visiting Specchio, yeah, you start to feel like you're wasting tech points in a way.
Yeah, so I'm really curious to see if the Cathedral play here by Korenth is going to pay out for him because we saw Raster Cecil noping out and going back and avoiding finishing Cathedral. So he kind of saved like 4 minutes or 3 to 4 minutes there. This strategy can pay out. It will all depend on which character is hiding behind Cathedral and if this character is required or not to progress.
Yeah, we'll see how that turns out. I personally might gamble on it. Like I said, none of the characters they have yet offer any key item or any progression or extra key items. I like to have at least one in the tank, because I'll tell you, more often than not, you'll find yourself needing it. Having said that, if you need it truly and you come to that point, it's a lot faster to go through Cathedral and fight Yakra if you're a higher level. Obviously, you can one-shot him. So
yeah, so let's see if this is Robo. So Korenth will be able to do Sunken Desert check. They don't know any kind of ice damage, ice type attack.
yeah,
It would be nice to do Sunken Desert, but maybe if this is Maul and Maul has ice too. So Sunken Desert is Robo.
now that's interesting. That is interesting.
So Korenth now has another check open for him, which Raster Cecil does not. So let's see if he's going to make that to his advantage.
So the Robo ribbon may pay off if he uses Robo. So we'll see. Probably not, though, because he is slow. He is slow.
Maybe if they get a blue rock.
Hey, you never know, right?
Why not? Why not? It's Korenth. I mean, maybe Korenth. We'll use the blue rock strats.
Blue rock strats are gold, and I'll tell you why. The triple techs in this game are a little disappointing, I'd say, if you're playing the original game on cartridge. Typically I would find myself always using single techs because I would just do more damage over time. It's been tweaked a little bit in Jets. You will actually be doing more damage in many cases with a dual tech as opposed to using those 2 single techs by themselves. So a lot of extra multipliers have been added to different things, and yeah, if you get a blue rock or a black rock, and you get Omega Flare or Dark Eternal.
Omega Flare is really a really good and powerful triple tech, and that requires Megas, Luca, and Robo, and they have that already.
They have that already, and if you can get that together at the end of the game, I mean, you're just going to be doing insane damage, so it can be very worth it.
Ooh, so Korenth just found the Gate Key. Gate Key is a really important key item. He does enable him to go back to prehistory and also unlock magic. He can go back and use the portal in prehistory to reach end of time, and from there to unlock magic that will give him all the first 3 attacks for Luca and Chrono, and he will learn the 4th attacks and so on by unlocking magic. So it is a great find. Raster Cecil found the Prism Shard that requires Mar, and it's kind of a longish check because you have to visit the king at 600 and then go back to 1000 and do the quest, and there's a few cutscenes here and there.
Getting Prism Shard is a bit of a fetch quest, while getting the Gate Key unlocks progress. So you get to unlock a time period, you get another check, and in that sense, Raster Cecil may be, kicking himself later for not A, doing Cathedral, and B, maybe if he had done Yakra, that would have led him naturally into Xenon Bridge. Instead, he just did that whole sequence, and but you might see him go to Xenon Bridge soon here, to be completely honest, because it's a great place to hit early on.
Yeah, let's see if all the gambles will pay out. It's going... So far, we don't have much progress. I mean, apart from the Gate Key there isn't much progress available to the runners. So they'll have to keep exploring.
And typically what you'll see here, like Raster Cecil is doing Xenon Bridge, he'll do a save just before he starts triggering this quest. and there's a reason for that. You can get, randomly any key item after you talk to the chef. If he finds something he doesn't like, which he will find something he wants. We know that now.
Yeah,
But if he were to get the tools or something, well, the tool is probably the most useless thing you can get. He would probably be resetting there and just skipping the bridge altogether, because if you don't get that juicy gate key like he just did, it just doesn't feel like it's worth your time.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning that it's an option here if you get some key items that enable you to get your go mode, but they don't necessarily lead to progress, such as the Chrono trigger or the clone or even the Ruby knife. It's also an option to keep that in mind and no out of Xenon Bridge, reset the game and continue searching, because we never know which go mode we're going to get. So maybe later you can go back because you do the fight against Zombor faster.
That's true. Yeah, Zombor.
And maybe that's a strategy.
He's not really that difficult to deal with. Like, the threat of dying to him is pretty low as long as you fight him correctly. You fight the top first. It's that simple. Kill the top, then the bottom. You should never run into trouble if you do that. But like Moon said, if you come here a little later level, you can one hit each part and save, at least a minute on the entire fight. So
yeah.
However, if you come here early, you get good experience, you get good item drops that can help you later on if you're getting progress somewhere else. Korenth right now is impressive with his progress.
Yeah, let's just mention about the fight, Zombor fight. So the top absorbs fire and lightning, and the bottom absorbs shadow and water. Ice and water. So it's always better, as Brock said, to kill the top first and leave the bottom to the real part of the fight, because if you go the other way around, he will cast an AoE attack which might wipe your party, does around 100 damage, and we don't have that much health early on, so it's always better to go for the top first.
Yeah, it's one of those fights where if you just do it in the wrong order, the boss will go berserk and try to kill you like a crazy person. And we want to avoid that if we can.
Yeah, Korenth going now to prehistory. He does have an option here. He can go and climb Dactyl Nest. So climbing Dactyl Nest will enable him to unlock an extra character. Or he could go and check Reptile Lair check for another key item, for another check. Let's see if if he is going to do that, or if he will go back and start Hecarim Cave, because that's a very good check for now. Because by unlocking magic, you can get all the tech points from the Hecarim Cave.
Exactly, and that would be such a natural play, I think. He's going to get, a couple levels probably out of Hecarim Cave and a lot of tech points, which is going to make him stronger to fight Nizbel in Reptile Lair. I'm not sure if he'll check Dactyl Nest. He might if he had that Prism Shard. So we'll see, we'll see, but personally, I actually like to check Dactyl's Nest unless I know that I'm going to definitely use the team I have. I just like having extra little options, and having a deep bench of characters to pick from can make a lot of differences, especially later on when you're dealing with, different types of bosses. You might have to do AoE magic here and single target damage there. It's just good to have characters to choose from.
Oh, and we see Flare. So Luca has Flare, so Luca will most probably be staying in both parties, because Flare is such an amazing tech. It is one of the best AoE attacks. It does fire damage, and you can wipe most enemies in the game.
Yeah, and it looks like Cecil learned Flare a little earlier than Korenth did, and he was able to just use it on Zombor there. That definitely bought him some time.
Wow, indeed. Yeah,
so probably
okay,
we'll see something similar here. I'm just saying that Cecil's probably going to go straight to Specchio, but he's already done Hecarim. So it's always tough to say who's ahead and who's behind, but I mean they're very close right now. But boy, oh boy, this is exciting.
Yeah, as I thought, as I mentioned, by unlocking magic, you can do Heckron Cave and get all the tech points. So maybe in terms of tech points and tax, Korenth will, I mean, maybe he will pull ahead here because by unlocking magic, you already gain all the very first 3 techs, so you don't have to necessarily grind to get the first 3, so you unlock them all.
Yeah, you know, on top of that, he's going to be able to use Flare and whatever else he learns here on Heckran. It's going to be a quicker fight there than Cecil had, so...
I'm still not sure if Magus has any kind of very good AoE spells for now. I've seen just Lightning 2 and Magic Wall, I guess.
I suppose that Cecil may just go straight for Nizbel, because I'm not sure. Well, it's between Nizbel and Denadoro. Oh, and he might check Dactyl Nest for Marl. He's got a few options, actually.
Yeah, I really like when the seed goes like, you have a lot of options, and if you go and do the right checks and do the right decisions that pays off for you, it's amazing. We'll see.
Yeah, I'll never forget the time. I believe it was SP Ridley. He went to Genodome early and cleaned up in his race because of that, and it was just kind of an odd, quirky thing to do, but that can really make a huge difference. If you feel like you're ready for an area,
yeah,
you can just go for it usually. And hey, it's always a gamble, no matter what you're doing in a randomizer. So.
Yeah, I mean, I do remember on our last race, I was kind of... I let Genodome for late for my very last check, and that didn't pay off for me, so maybe doing a slightly higher or in longer check early on can pay off. You get more attack points, you gain access to better loot, and you kind of prepare yourself for your go mode. But it's a gamble. The checks are longer. So
yeah.
So you're thinking Geno early?
Yeah, Geno early is a very good option because you gain a lot of tech points, a lot of experience points. You get very good loot there, and it's not that long.
I mean, you have to make sure that you can one hit some of, like, you want to not struggle with the fights for sure. Like, you want to have some good tech going in there. You don't want to just run in there willy-nilly. But if you do, yeah, you get a lot of experience.
It's definitely a place you want Flare.
Oh, Flare or even Luminaire can actually do quite a bit of damage in there because any lightning spell, like robots are weak to. So in many cases, Luminaire is actually sufficient in Genodome. But you do want speed for the lasers. But we're not there yet, so we shouldn't talk too much about Genodome when we can be talking about Korenth's. Well, he will have an excellent finish here with Heckran. He looks like he has a frenzy band on. You don't want to have a frenzy band on when you're fighting Heckran.
Yeah, just talking about the fight against Heckran, you can only hit him with magical attacks, so that's why he is spamming flares and luminaires. He will usually cast Cyclone, and usually against the third character in your body, so that's why Chrono was kind of the aim of that attack. So usually if you have a blue vest, make sure to equip that on the third character, because usually that's the one that's going to get hit with a water attack.
Yeah, so
if you take a lot of time to kill... Oh, sorry. Go on.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to finish off speaking that if you don't manage to kill Heckran very fast, he will get into a defensive stance, and attacking him will trigger an AoE water-based attack, so you kind of don't want that.
That's right, yeah. You definitely don't want to hit him when he's in that mode. However, it can give you a window of opportunity to sort of heal yourself up a bit if you have to.
Very true.
Yeah, like in say a glitchless run of the game, like you have to actually go through a few cycles of him doing that and rely on them for healing. But of course, if you show up with Flare and Luminaire, you're not gonna have to worry about that.
And as expected, as predicted in chat, Korenth is doing the desert check now. So by having Ice 2, so Ice 2 can reduce the defense from Red Knight. And you do need that because if you don't, your attacks are going to miss a lot and the fight's going to just take longer. And by having Ice here, it's amazing that you can just normal attack and you will not miss.
Yeah, for the most part, you don't miss. Robo can miss. I think Robo and Chrono have the lowest hit, maybe, and they still can miss after you use that ice. However, he's not gonna have any trouble. I think the top and bottom each have 1600 HP. I want to say. You want to take out the top first. Well, I do. Some people disagree. Some people take out the bottom first. But the only thing you don't want to do is let that core die before you're done fighting him. If you let that core die, he will, like Zombor, if you kill him wrong, he'll just go crazy and just nuke you repeatedly until you're dead.
Yeah, and you have to make sure to use only physical damaging attacks here because you can't hit him with any kind of magical attacks.
That's right. I sometimes I'll notice if the core gets really low on HP if I'm watching and it's almost about to die, because it can kill its own core by sucking life out of it. You can actually hit the core with magic to heal it back up just to keep it alive, just so that you can stay alive too. It's rare that you need that, but it's possible. Meanwhile, on Cecil's screen, he's in the Nizbel fight here. It doesn't look like he's having trouble at all. He's doing the correct thing. He's hitting Nizbel with lightning spells in order to stun Nizbel so that Nizbel will just stand there and eat all the attacks. So, ooh, Chrono down.
Oh, Chrono is down, and he's not getting the experience points, neither the attack points from this battle, which is sad. Usually also you can kind of plan the final moments of that battle in order to make sure everyone has their HB filled up, so you can hit the core after the top and the bottom after they die. So if you kill the core, you get 2000 extra experience points and 20 tech points more. So it's always useful to keep that in mind, kind of counting out the damage, so you can kill the core after that.
Yeah, you want to have as many of your ATBs full as possible. Absolutely. It's the only way to really to deal with that core. He likes to run away. It's a little random. Sometimes he runs quicker than others, but he can also drop it out. Yeah, Chrono is down.
On
again.
Raster sound.
On Cecil scene, yeah. That's okay. I saw him dealing quite a bit of damage with Flare and Luminaire. Nizbel should be getting whittled down here, but it's a little early for this, maybe. Whew.
So this check, Korenth, both Korenth and Raster Cecil's check now will kind of, I mean, it can...
It's gonna mean a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna mean a lot for both of them.
It will. Here's Korenth's coming up right here when he pulls Robo down from the altar. Oh, and it's the ruby knife.
Wow.
So
go on.
That's one of the go modes. In order to get to Lavos through a certain path, you want to start with the gate key. That will give you access to 65 million, as we see here.
Wow.
What did Cecil find there?
The Dreamstone.
Oh my goodness gracious me. So that was what I was just gonna say. If you find the gate key, you can bring the Dreamstone. You bring the Dreamstone to Tyranno Lair.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Wow. Korenth is in a really good position right now because he only needs the Dreamstone and he's about to find it. Cecil needs the ruby knife and he doesn't know where it is. So this is a very, very interesting turn of events here. And Cecil's going up Dactyl's Nest. He's probably hoping he's going to find Marl so that he can do that Prism Shard quest.
And he is actually one item away from Lava's Go mode, but we know for him, in order to get the Ruby knife, he would have to go back, clear Cathedral, get Robo, do Robo's quest, and I don't think he's going to do that for now, because as Bucky said, maybe he's looking for Marl.
He must be looking for Marl, because I don't know what else he might be. Or he's
Maybe
just
Robo?
like I like to pick up anyone I can here sometimes, because it just makes my team more diverse and it just a better killing unit. It does take extra time, but depending on what you get, it's a gamble. But you know, if he picked up like Ayla, even that would just give his team so much more power.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not progress, but power.
That is why keeping Cathedral is very dangerous, risky, and it's a gamble. It's a gamble. I mean, we never know. Even if you have the characters that unlock quests and checks such as Robo, Frog, and Wally in your party, you'd still want to finish Cathedral in order to get some better damaging characters.
Yeah,
like
and
Luca and Ayla.
Zito Arc in chat, he has it right. It's not the right thing to do or it's a big gamble is his words, if you don't have those side quest characters. We've been talking about this from the start. Marl, Robo, Frog. If you don't have any of those, you want to maybe focus on that a little more. So looks like Cecil picked up Marl on Dactyl's Nest here. I wonder if he's going to go straight into that Prism Shard, or if he's going to go to the Cathedral. It looks like he's doing Prism Shard.
Prism Shard quest for
It's
Raster.
going to be very interesting. If he keeps going down this path of divergence, his only hope, in my opinion, is going to be to find the pendant and the trigger and the clone and go Zeal 2. Because Korenth is he's speeding towards go mode now.
Exactly. That's his only viable option, I'd say, in order to keep up with Korenth's go mode, reaching out right now. Oh my. Yeah, so again, let's talk about go modes. With the Bent Hilt, the Bent Sword, and the Ruby Knife, you can forge the Massive Unit to have access to Magus Castle, but for that you need Frog in your party. You beat it to unlock the Dark Ages, and then you can reach Ocean Palace from there to fight Lava. That is one of the possible go modes. They don't know where the other piece of the sword is, and they don't know where Frog is, so that's not an option. The second,
Exactly.
Yeah, so the second wave is what Korenth is going to get right now. So it's the Gate Key, the Dreamstone, and the Ruby Knife. The Dreamstone will enable you to go through Tyranno Lair to again unlock the Dark Ages, so you can reach Ocean Palace and Lava from there. But you need the Ruby Knife to open up the Ocean Palace.
Yeah, I think we know by now that Frog is going to be in the future, because actually we did see Ayla in Frog's Burrow already. So we know that Robo is after Yakra. So we know that that Frog is in the future. That means they're going to have to find the pendant before they even think about using Frog for progression. That's kind of counterintuitive. Once you're into the future, once you're in the future, you're not going to try and go for a Magus Castle, unless you absolutely are forced to.
Indeed. Yeah, so the other option Procky was saying about Raster, so options now to go through Black Omen. So for that, he would need the pendant. That would enable him to have access to the future by finishing the prison quest.
Yep.
And with the Chrono Trigger and the clone, he would be able to open up and access Daphne. And by finishing that, Black Omen would be available for him to fight Zeal 2 in the end. And that's considered a final boss. We do play with the Zeal 2 flag on. So by finishing up Zeal 2, it's the end of the game.
That's right. Yeah, we have that flag just because if the flag is off, then you are forced to fight Lavos right after you fight Zeal 2. And we just felt that's a little unfair because each path takes a certain amount of time. And like if you get an early Black Omen and the other player gets an early Ocean Palace, it's not fair to the Black Omen guy because he's gonna have to fight 2 bosses. So
and we must say,
go ahead.
Go on. I was just going to say that having a sub 40-minute go mode is like amazing. It's very rare that we get that kind of sub 40-minute go mode. It's not that common.
It's not common, and especially when he's done as many checks as he's done. So, like, you could get an early go mode like this after like 2 or 3 checks, maybe, or well, at least 3 checks, and be in an early go mode. But look at how many checks he's done, and he's still only at 39 minutes. That's, a sign that we're dealing with a top level player here. He's just gonna go and stock up a little bit on some items, and then I think he's probably just gonna go for it. I don't know if he's gonna grind first or if he's just gonna go for it.
Yeah, so the options here for Korenth in order to prepare for the Tyranno fight. So he could be going around and searching for a silver earring. That might be an option for him to raise his HP.
Yeah.
25%, maybe that's an option. Searching for very specific shops, like this one in Prehistory and the Melchior shop for barriers. That would enable him to survive against the magical AoE attack after the countdown from Tyranno. So that's an option.
Right. He's actually playing this pretty smart here because he knows that he's got an early go mode, and therefore, I'm not sure what level he is, but he's probably feeling like I should be a higher level if I'm going to be at this stage in progression. So a little bit of grinding before you go into Tyranno layer is never a bad idea.
Yeah, too bad the evils, they are dropping nothing. Sometimes they do drop like items such as full tonics and full ethers, so that would have been great, but it's okay.
Yeah, that's too bad, but I guess the most important thing here is experience, and you do get a fair amount. I'm not sure if there's a better place to grind. Not sure.
Yeah, indeed, this place is amazing to grind. I mean, personally, I don't know if I would be. I don't think Korenth is feeling behind now, so he does have this space so that he can grind. But I don't know if I'd be grinding too much because then it's a risk, because you can grind later on in Ocean Palace, so that's a better option for grind.
I agree, and I was gonna say another thing. He might. Oh, he's level 19 now. That's a pretty good time to go in here. I would be feeling a little bit apprehensive here, just because with this team, Chrono, Luca, Magus, you actually don't have any AoE healing available in your tech. So unless he picked up a bunch of lapises, he might struggle with healing. But if he's a high enough level, he probably won't have to heal that much because he can probably just output a whole bunch of damage. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. We must take note that Luca does have flare, which helps a lot.
She does have flare.
Probably Magus will be learning some good attacks now because he has Lightning 2, Ice 2, and Fire 2.
Yeah, and
if Chrono, I guess.
If Chrono happens to learn Confuse, that would be really nice too. He could use Fire Sword 2 against Black Tyranno. And yeah, having Magic Wall is great as well. In case he didn't pick up any barriers, using Magic Wall or Barrier during that Black Tyranno fight is highly recommended, because if you don't kill him before his countdown finishes, he's going to hit you with a big old bad AoE magic spell. And in many cases, if you're not ready, it can wipe your whole team.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Luca knows Fire 2.
I think she does. She
does,
actually.
Oh, okay. That's
I think so.
And Chrono is dead again. Oh, poor
Chrono down.
Chrono is down again. Raster Cecil just finished off his fight against Yakra 13. He got the Moonstone from this quest. The Moonstone, it's a key item that enables you to get another key item from Melchior after you finish off this specific quest from Maul. So after finishing Rainbow Shell, the Rainbow Shell quest, you can go back to prehistory, charge the Moonstone there, grab it again in the future, then go back and visit Melchior to get another key item. But he doesn't have access to the future yet, so that's not an option for him now.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he took this whole quest knowing he'd had the Moonstone, because this is another one where you can sort of save before you check. It does take a little longer than, say, the Zombor check. But once you get to that chest, or once you get to the Rainbow Shell in that basement, and you see something you don't want, you could reset and check something else. It'd be difficult for me to personally justify the Moonstone without the pendant, because he's now... Well, he only has Desert. No, he has Denadoro as well, so he's going to go Denadoro.
So I am thinking here, maybe if Denadoro is something that doesn't lead to progression, like a jerky or tools, or Chrono
even if it's trigger or clone at this point,
so
he will be stuck. Or stuck with Desert.
Pendant at Mount Wolsey. Maybe.
Yeah, if he gets stuck with Desert, he's going to go back to Cathedral first.
Having said that, he may find the pendant up here, and then we've got a race on our hands. But if he doesn't find progression from this next key item check, he's going to fall even further behind Korenth, he's just well on his way to the end game now. He doesn't have anything aside from maybe levels and tech and gear and those little things you have to tweak. Those are the only things in his way now. And he just took down Dispel too, no problem. He's on his way to Black Tyranno right after this.
It seems we have a few new people in the chat that are asking if this is a randomizer and what that's all about.
Yeah, so this is Depth of Time randomizer. It's an open world randomizer. This randomized character pickups, randomized loot from treasure chests, enemy drops, and all key item locations. We have a total of 15 checks, and we have 3 possible ways to reach go mode, and 2 final bosses, so Lavos and VO2. We now are watching the game 1 of the semifinals of our Depth of Time tournament 2021.
Yep, this is
Korenth and Raster Cecil.
This is a best of 3 matchup, so this is game 1. After this, there will be a game 2 no matter what, and after that, there may even be a game 3. So, lots of entertainment coming up. Our next race is on Saturday. That's 2 days from now, at the same time.
And it is, it's kind of tricky to have a very fast go mode like Korenth is having right now, because you are under leveled, you don't have enough gear, your gear is kind of bad, and maybe you don't have enough tax. At least we see we have flare, so that's something really good. But apart from that, maybe he's lacking gear and HP and levels, and it's very tricky to just rush it and go, because if you don't apply the very, very specific strategies for the bosses here, you can get a wipe, and that can cost you a lot.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's something that Korenth is well aware of, and we're going to see him, again, I'm not sure if he has barriers, but he's going to at least be casting Magic Wall on his team, just in case he doesn't kill Black Tyranno in time. And that could be a struggle, even though he does have some really high-powered attacks. They are MP intensive, so he's going to have to spend time healing up healing up Luca after she does these flares, and that's just going to eat up time. Any time that you spend healing during Black Tyranno's countdown is time you're getting closer to the end of that countdown.
Yeah, so they fight against Black Tyranno and Azala. So Azala has 2,000 hit points. In order for the Black Tyranno to remove his defense, Azala must be dead. So that's only magical attacks to kill Azala. So that's why he was using Omega's Dark Bomb there. He could also be using Flare, but I guess Korenth is saving MP.
Yeah, she has 2,000 hit points. You just want to do that much. Now, technically, I think you can put her to sleep or put stop on her, and you'll actually eventually reach that countdown, but it takes time. I don't think it's very, it's not the right thing to do if you're trying to go fast.
Yeah, so we just saw Korenth using barriers on everyone, so that's the ideal strategy here, because after the countdown, if you're not able to do enough damage, so if you're not able to kill Black Tyranno before the countdown finishes, he will attack with a very powerful AoE magical attack, and it's a random element, so it can be like non-elemental, fire, shadow, lightning, even water. So you have to be prepared, you have to have your HP like filled up and kind of hope for the best.
And his HP is not filled up, but I'm sure he will use maybe a round of mid tonics if he has them before that countdown's over. I'm not sure he has enough damage output here to kill Black Tyranno in time.
I mean, it looks like a lightning Tyranno, so probably Luminaire.
Oh, is there a way to tell?
The beams he shoots out?
Oh, okay.
They're lightning.
Cool. I did not know that. Meanwhile, on Cecil's screen here, he's now in the final stage of the Mass Immune fight. Okay, he's not going to have any trouble. He's coming in here a little late, and he has elite tech. He takes down Mass Immune with no trouble at all. We're going to see what he picks up here.
Yeah, this will give Raster Cecil a key item if it is dependent. If it's dependent, then the race is still on. Everything can happen. But having dependent is a really good here because he will unlock 3 more attacks in the future. But he will have to finish the Griffin quest. So that takes about 5 minutes.
That's right, and I'm sure that he would probably prioritize that because he has the Moonstone and he's already done the King's Trial. So, okay, we'll see what he picks up though.
It is risky now for Korenth.
Oh, he needs to heal his team. He needs to heal his team.
A Lapis, please.
I would love to see a Lapis, even a round of mid-ethers, mid tonics. Looks like Cecil picked up the Chrono trigger there.
And
that is
going for it. He is going to risk it. Let's go. Oh, YOLO strats. Oh my.
Yeah, that is YOLO strats. I'm legitimately
worried about this.
Feeling uneasy. Like, I have bad feelings right now. Cecil is realizing he's stuck unless he does the desert.
Oh god.
Cecil knows now that Robo must be... Oh my goodness.
Oh,
so he had a blackmail on Luca?
Yeah, he had.
What?
Oh, that actually saved him. Oh my.
Oh my goodness. So at this point, once you've survived one attack, you have a lot of recovery time, and he's going to count down again. He can hit you with the odd attack here, and you do want to be a little careful. But generally, once he hits you once, you're in the clear. You can just keep attacking him. Even before he removes his defense, you're still going to do like half damage.
Yeah, the only problem is that he will try to eat a character like that.
And that's
150 damage.
Yeah.
But you can continue using magical attacks before even he reduces his defense again. So you can use flare and other type of magical attacks before the countdown. You can't use physical attacks because his defense will be up, but you can use magical attacks.
That's right, yeah. Tailspin, actually, I wanted to mention this, a bit of a tangent, but if you have Ayla and Tailspin, her Tailspin will always hit Black Tyranno, whether it's counted down or not, or if Azala is still on the screen. I've actually used that strategy before to kill Black Tyranno before killing Azala It takes about 10 turns with a good tailspin and a haste helm, but it works. It's a fun little strat.
Does that mean
it's
fire
a very
roll
good strat to
works
have
as
in
well?
mind. And that's it. Black Tyranno's down.
Black Tyranno's down, so Korenth is going to head into 12,000 BC now. The Lavos is actually going to strike the Earth now in this cutscene, causing the time gate to appear that will give him access to 12,000. At this point, he can use the ruby knife he got earlier to unlock the Ocean Palace, and he's on his way to Lavos right after that. So, amazing performance by Korenth so far.
Wow.
Cecil has been doing extremely well, execution-wise, but just not having the luck he needs.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Raster Cecil because his key items were not that great. Maybe if, I mean, we could have something really good behind Prism Shard, maybe the pendant itself, but apparently not. And the pendant, I mean, it's at Mount Woe, maybe. Maybe Mount Woe has something like the Giants, the Thomas Pop, or
Dipwood makes a good point. Required cathedral. And I've never actually said or heard those words before, but I guess that's a
Indeed.
thing. This is a required cathedral seed.
Indeed. You can't skip Cathedral this time.
You cannot skip cathedral in this seed. Spoiler alert if you're going to play it. We do post a lot of these seeds in the Discord. In case you're ever interested in seeing how you could stack up, even with the spoilers, against our racers. Very fast seeds can be 1 hour 30, but it's sketchy because you have to grind in just the right way. Moon knows all about that.
Yeah, it's very risky to go all the way without grinding, and sometimes it pays off. And you gotta rely on some bosses RNG also because, I mean, the fights they get really hard if you're under level.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So it's very tricky.
Korenth is going a little bit out of his way here to get a few extra little, I guess, vendor checks in. And did he pick up a tab there? I'm not sure, but
I don't.
he must be feeling confident about his time, because if he was feeling behind, he would be rushing, I think, and we're not seeing that here.
Question. Would we try to check if this is the Blue Rock and swap Robo in for Omega Flash Drives? Question.
That's a very good question. I mean, here's something to consider. If you do swap in Robo, you actually are probably going to gain his heal beam. I hope he has it. I mean, if he did have heal beam, I would be really considering it because, again, he has no AoE heals from his party. Cecil's might, if he uses a Chrono Marl, they can do Aura Whirl. You know, both our teams here,
Indeed.
both our racers have like poor options for AoE healing. Robo is generally your best bet. Frog's good too, but Robo does more damage.
And also now Korenth is like very short on money. He doesn't have enough money to buy a single amulet, so that's kind of, I mean,
So something that
will have to suffer against obstacle.
I think one of our commentators brought that up earlier when he sold the amulet he got from Magus for free. That it would cost him 25,000 total gold in the end because he's probably going to need that amulet later. So it's unfortunate for Korenth. It's not necessarily the end of the world. Oh, he's just going for elixirs now. So he's doing a huge gamble here. If he doesn't have status protection, Lavos could really rock his world. Again, it's not guaranteed death, but he could cast a full stop on the team. He might also just cast sleep or confuse, and then, you know, you're fine.
Also, considering that, if I have no kind of any kind of status protection, an option is to just suicide against the lava shell, and you have access to this exact shot again. But then you have to crash the epoch, and that consumes about 4 minutes of a cutscene total to do that. So,
That's a good
and
point.
you also lose your access to the save point that you have between Lava's shell and phase 2. So
Yeah.
losing access to that save point is kind of tricky, but it is an option because you can wipe and just move on.
Yeah, he could wipe to the shell, move on. And of course, by that point, you've gone through Ocean Palace, you've got gold and maybe some items to sell. So it should be pretty easy to afford an amulet after that. Of course, it's all going to depend on what Lavos casts for that status ailment. It's random every seed, and we're going to learn what it is pretty soon here.
Yeah, I do remember Korenth mentioning once that he sometimes likes to gamble on obstacle. So if it's something like sleep, so he is pretty safe. He doesn't have to worry too much about that.
Yeah, because right after he casts obstacle on you, he's going to hit you with I forget the exact name of the spell, but it does a minimal amount of damage. It's an AoE that will hit your party for under 100 damage. So if they've been put to sleep or they've had chaos cast on them, it'll just like knock them out of it immediately. It's to the point where if you cast heal on them, it's a wasted heal.
Yeah, the downside of wiping to Lava's shell and buying amulets after that is that you don't have a second option to try and play again because you have to go through a 2-minute, 3-minute cutscene again. So it's kind of risky if you don't nail it the first time. So it kind of makes your heart race.
It looks like Cecil killed the core of Retinite.
Oh my.
He looks like he's gonna be okay. He's taken some AoEs here. Oh, it's Luca's getting a little wrecked, but it's okay. I mean,
good, amazing.
He's kind of a high enough level now that like it's not so scary. If he was a lower level, that would be so scary. It'd be probably a reset. So he's able to eat those AoE attacks from the base.
Yeah, so Raster will get his go mode right now. So he will start by Lair, I think.
Yeah, about 20 minutes late,
15
maybe.
to 20 minutes after.
Yeah.
I mean, we never
we
know.
can say
a high. Go on.
Golem is a good marker here because we're right at 1 hour.
Yeah.
So we'll check again at 1 hour. I mean, check again when Cecil gets to Golem.
I was just going to say that Korenth is not very good equipment-wise. I saw a hide cap on Luca.
Ooh.
So maybe that's not the best cap you'd want.
Oh, but he just switched it to mermaid, so.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Raster Cecil, I don't think Korenth has that mermaid cap.
Oh, you don't think Korenth has the mermaid cap? I see.
No, I saw the hide cap and Luca is using a hide cap. So that's actually really bad for a lava fight because the boomerangs can one-shot Luca if he doesn't find a better helm for her.
Yeah, even when you have... Yeah, even if you have like really good armor on Luca, she's still squishy.
Indeed.
It's even with a Tabin suit and a prism helm and a silver earring. I mean, those boomerangs could maybe still do could kill her in 2 shots. So you gotta be.
Do you think either runner's gonna try and charm a rainbow out of the golem boss while they're in there?
That is a very good question, Neo. So they. Oh wait, no, they don't have Ayla. No, they don't have Ayla. Yeah, they don't have Ayla.
That's right.
But it is true that if you cast Charm in this version of Jets, if you cast Charm on the Golem twins, they'll always give you a rainbow sword. I actually did that last night in one of my seeds, and I'm not even used to using that strat, but I had Chrono, and he had, I don't know, it was something really crappy, and I got a huge upgrade there at the very end, and it could be very good to
a rainbow and also a silver stud So those are the two guaranteed charm items.
That's
You can
right.
get from the golem.
That's right. And after the Golem Twin fight is over, they will always drop us one silver stud for you, which is really nice to have at the end.
Indeed.
Silver stud,
So
of course.
just found a mermaid cap, which means Luca can now remove her hide cap. That's amazing.
Yeah, and he is not concerned with getting any extra chests. He's feeling confident. He's obviously going to grind here for a bit. This is our main grind spot, I'd say, in Jets of Time overall. This is where you spend the most time grinding, no matter what seed you do. You get, what is it, 2,800 experience and 80 tech points? And usually an ether or a mid-ether or a full ether. He gets one ether, one barrier.
So ether's guaranteed also because it's like they always drop those ethers there. It's not randomized in the version of Jets of Time.
And by the way, that is fixed in the newer version. We decided, even though it's fun to have that one little guarantee, it goes against the spirit of a randomizer. So those things will be removed in future versions, but for now, there are little tricks and secrets here and there, and that's one of them. This fight will always drop at least an ether. It never really quite pays back what you have to put into it. Like, you know, you're using Luca, she's using Flare, costs 20, you get one ether back. So, you know, costs 10 every time, but it's still a net loss. But I like to grind here to maybe between level 27 and 29, generally speaking. You want to keep an eye on the tech that you have to learn as well. Make sure that you know, are about to learn what you want. Both those things are important. If you're a newer player, you could grind to like 30 or 31 here, and you're going to have a very comfortable final boss.
That's a very good question, but final chance there.
No, Melchior, no, it's not going to be removed. Melchior will keep selling shelters and revives and starting weapons for everyone.
That's right. That was put in on purpose, along with, for example, after you do the desert, the Fiona's Shrine shop, that will always sell you a lapis. And what was the other one? There's two that always sell you. Oh, Fritz. Fritz will always sell you a lapis. And the new shop in Kajar and the new shop in Black Omen, they will always sell you an amulet. So there will always be those few guaranteed items. It's quality of life for us because, I mean, especially with the amulets, if you didn't have that, a seed could actually just be like crap.
Wow. And, I just saw how Raster Cecil got all the chests here in that maze, and it was amazing.
I've only seen him and Boo's Wizard do that, and I am impressed every time I see it.
Wow, I must add that. I mean, we must learn that.
I've tried.
Cool.
I can't even do it. He's too good.
Oh my god.
Oh, it looks like he was using a Moon Blizzard strat on that, trying to skip this fight though.
Yeah, this fight.
There is a way you can walk down into that little nook and then shoot yourself up on the right line.
I have a very tight window to hold A to avoid that fight. It's very tight. I don't know if it's like 2 or 3 frames, but it's very tight, and you can't skip that fight.
Right. Every time I skip it, it's one of those things. When I skip it, I don't know why it happened, but you do.
Oh. Yeah, you have to align a very specific line there and just go, rush it, and hold A exactly when they go inside the door, and like when the screen transition starts to pull off, and you just hold A. Yeah, it's kind of tricky. I mean,
it is tricky.
I still miss that a few times here and there, so it's not very consistent for me.
It's a lot more difficult than the next skip that you will see, like that's on a similar background where you just have to walk between two enemies. But
the next one is very consistent. Yeah.
It's very consistent compared to that one. I agree. And I practiced it too. I thought it had to do with like player grouping, like similar to the acid skip that you found at the factory. So I thought if your team was grouped up really tight, then you could actually just bypass that, but it doesn't work that way at all. Not in Tyranno layer. You can't do the same thing. Tried. So it does have to do with like taking a really narrow pathway and, like you said, I think holding A at the right time.
Yeah, holding A at the exact moment when they touch the door and the skill position starts to fade in, and you just have to hold A. And
it looks like
it works.
It looks like Keith Ketchum is saying that he just spams A.
Oh, spam A.
Hit the left side of the door and mash. So
I usually hold it once. Okay, I must try that. Maybe it's more consistent than the way we are doing it right now.
Some of the skips, most of the skips in this game, I have to say, are like really consistent. If you take the right path and you do the right thing, you'll skip it every time. But there's a little handful of encounter skips that are like totally inconsistent. I'm thinking of the one in Giant's Claw, for example, that is like, that's like 10%, and I don't know how to crack it.
I was very glad when we found out how to do the bad skip here in Ocean Palace. The one before Golden Twins, that was a skip. I thought it would be really hard to learn. I saw you doing it once, and then after we got it down to a very specific movement, it was like very consistent.
Indeed, that was one I believe it was already being used in like vanilla speedrunning. But once I started practicing, it's one of those things like spend 20-30 minutes doing it one day, and it's one of those skips that's basically 99% consistent. But like I said, that like there's that one skip in Giant's Claw where it seems to be actual RNG. But that's a skip that you don't see in a vanilla run ever, because it's not useful. We're going there in Chrono Sanity, Chest Mania mode, to get every chest in the game. And so we have to figure out our own unique skips sometimes. And it's a lot of fun.
Exactly, yeah. It's a lot of fun. I mean, when we find new things like the skip in Factory, that was like amazing, because it's a new strategy that we can apply, and we skip another fight. So that's really happy when we find things.
And of course, there's the infamous Dragon Tank skip, which a number of players have done now, mostly by accident, but it allows you to completely skip the entire Dragon Tank fight, which is incredible. I don't know if it would ever work. We
successfully did that a few times already, but we haven't yet discovered exactly what triggers it, right?
Don't know exactly what triggers it, and I highly doubt it would work in vanilla. I highly doubt, and it's probably impossible for it to work in vanilla. But I'm still going to try and do it every time I play vanilla. Just
maybe, who knows?
Who knows? It would be epic.
So, going back, Raster Cecil is on his way to Black Tyranno fight, and I think he's at a higher level than Korenth was when he reached the boss. I don't think he has the Black Vest equipped on Luca or anyone in that sense. So let's see how this fight is going to play out. He still has not used the barriers.
Yeah, that's true. He may be a slightly higher level than Korenth was coming in. I didn't actually get a chance to see. Korenth was about 19 here. It all depends on kind of your max HP. So if he has 500 HP, I doubt he does. Especially not on Magus. Or Luca, for that matter. So, I mean, Magus and Luca don't gain HP as fast as others, for example.
The problem here is that if he does not use any kind of barriers, that may be party wipe if no one is using a Black Vest or a Black Mail. Because usually that attack goes for 300-ish, 400-ish damage.
Yeah, I think Dipwood said Magus survived Black Tyranno's attack even without Magic Wall. I thought he did cast Barrier on everyone. but maybe I was wrong. Magus does have high magic defense, probably the highest out of anyone in the team. Luca's is okay.
Yeah, as we don't see the red glow on the characters, I don't think he has a...
Oh, Magus survived with barrier. You're right. Luca probably
with a barrier.
Yeah, Luca would probably not have, but she was wearing the black mail. You're right. So this, he's probably going to be a little less risky, I'm guessing. You know, we didn't see Korenth heal here. I want Raster Cecil to heal. It's going to make me feel a lot better.
Magus has an innate shadow resistance, so wow. I was not aware of that.
Also, just to go back to Korenth's screen, he's working his way up the elevator in Ocean Palace in the most excruciating way possible. Generally, when we run this, we try to have either Ayla or Frog in our team so that we can get through this a lot easier.
Yeah, if you attack with an element that is not the color of the scouts, they will always counter with an AoE attack. And if you get like 2, 3, or 4 in a row, that can be a easy party wipe if you don't have any kind of elemental protection or high enough HP.
Yeah, generally like
kind of tricky.
It's nice if you have like Marl, Luca, and Chrono because you're gonna have fire.
My.
Oh my god, Chrono is down.
And Magus is down. And Luca is almost down. Oh. Gladly Luca survived with 34 HP.
He's going for a mid-ether before he goes for a full tonic. I'm not sure if he has full tonics, but Korenth is trying to skip here, by the way. He didn't get it right away, so he actually reset the room.
Go, 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 go. It's possible. It's possible. Oh.
Yeah, sometimes you actually will, while you're trying to run, you will get stuck on the floor if you don't do it.
That is new to me because the red scout was like further to the right.
That was really strange. That was strange.
Indeed.
Now, Cecil he must have been counting his HP or something because he decided to just kill Black Tyranno with 50 HP on each character.
Oh my.
Yeah, he just did that. So he just used a revive on everybody and then just took care of him. So Cecil is through that fight. He made me very nervous, I have to say. Korenth is going to head into Golem Twins here.
Considering that Korenth was doing his fight against the Golem at 1 hour mark, so we are almost at 20. We should be looking at like 18 or 20 minutes difference.
Yeah, it depends if Cecil needs to do any kind of like shopping or anything of that sort, like because it could take a couple minutes if he has to go find something. But if he goes straight to the Golem, it'll be only a couple of minutes from now. And even though it's like we're looking at almost 20-minute difference here, that could change so quickly. Korenth is doing very well. However, he doesn't exactly have the most elite gear possible. He is kind of being held together by duct tape and baling wire at this point.
Exactly, yeah.
He doesn't have any. He doesn't have any status protection, as we commented earlier. He could almost easily wipe 2 Lavos here. I hope he doesn't. I know he has the capability to not do that, but you never know. You just never know. Look, he's doing a great job on Golem Twins, though.
Yeah, so Golem Twins, they have 8,000 hit points, so they will counter, they will switch to the elements that you attack with. So Luca attacking with fire, they will attack with fire. The good thing is that their first attack, if you use fire, it's always going to be that single target fire attack that does like really less than 100 damage, so it's very safe to use fire. But in order for that to work, you have to attack with another element in between, so that they can always start with the single target attack if you go with fire.
That's right.
That
So
also
like
works if you use ice.
ice, I
or
was gonna
water.
say. Yeah,
Yeah.
the ice or fire. Like if you can, queue up a few attacks against the golems, as long as the last one ends with fire or ice, even if you don't have absorb gear on, he's going to be doing a minimal amount of damage to you. But if you hit him with physical, shadow, or lightning last, you're going to regret it, because he can either do an AoE or just hit you for a lot of physical damage. Korenth had no problem with that. It looked like he had a red nail or something on Luca there, which helped a lot, I have to say. Because if you kill them both at the same time too, they will counterattack with an almost 200 HP, sometimes more damage per counter. So you want to have like 500 HP to be safe.
Yeah, 500 is a very good mark to be safe. That's 400 is
I think
very risky.
I think it's physical damage, pure physical. So if you have good defense, and even safe helms would go a long way there. But if I'm feeling, a little sketchy about that, like I'll kill one before the other and just make sure I heal.
We were able to glimpse the equipment on Chrono, and it was not very good. His options were like really bad. Load vest.
Yeah, load vest is. I'd say it's the top. It's the top of the mid tier. It's the top of the mid tier. But
yes, so that's not ideal for a Lavos fight. So it's going to be.
And we're gonna find out soon what the status ailment is that Lavos wants to cast in this seed. He's gonna cast obstacle soon, and it could be anything.
Yeah. So actually, we just hit the golem on Raster, so just starting his golem fight. So we are really looking at a 20-minute difference now. But the race is on, because we never know. We have seen races where runners wipe to Lavos 3 times.
We've seen that before. Yeah.
We've seen that before, and we never know what may happen. So let's see.
Unfortunately, I wasn't watching that race. But I would have been on the edge of my seat, and I was, but in a different way. So, oh no! It's a full stop.
Oh my!
It's a full stop.
This is his nightmares.
This is over for Korenth.
Option number one, reset. Option number 2, accept the wipe.
I would accept the wipe, I think, because I got gold and I got drops while I was going through Ocean Palace.
Yeah, I would do that. Yeah. Oh my.
You could afford maybe 2 amulets at this point. You need to have status protection now. There's no way around that. You want to have 3 status protections. Like, if you have to waste a turn healing somebody, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
so
this is the best option, because we know obstacle is going to hit again at Lavos phase 2. So after you kill the both arms, Lavos will cast obstacle again, and that is stop again for full party.
We know now that when obstacle is cast at any point in the seed, it will be a stop.
You got to keep in mind, he's been gambling this entire seed. It had to have bit him at some point.
That's a very good point.
Indeed.
Neo.
Indeed.
That's a very good point. Oh my gosh.
Hey, getting that far without fighting him, that's amazing.
This is where we are going to go on.
I'm gonna keep an eye on Cecil's gear and see if I'm sure he kept his amulet, but I don't know if he bought any more. I didn't see if he did. This could make a huge difference. Even if just one of them has an amulet. See, you see Korenth going to the new shop, he's getting that amulet right away.
Yeah, he does not have any kind of option now. I mean, you have to sell things and buy amulets, and that's what you have to do.
Yeah, and like I thought he would be able to afford 2. He
Yeah,
could
that's
go.
better than nothing.
He could go for a third one here, but I don't think so. No.
No, he doesn't have enough gold.
You'd have to sell consumables, which is not recommended. But
Yeah, Korenth sold Mage's Amulet. I mentioned that.
it was like in the first.
Very
It was like
early on.
yeah, the first 10 minutes of the game.
And we were kinda, I mean, we were kinda discussing why amulets were really important.
And I pointed out that like it's a gamble because he could have easily found, as we went through this seed, he could have found Vigil Hat, he could have found Prism Helm, he could have found Nova Armor, Gloom Helm, he could have found all, he could have found things that are useful. Even
Indeed.
a time hat would stop from being cast on him. So he didn't find any of those things the whole time. And then when it came time to buy an amulet, at least one, he wasn't he didn't have enough money in the bank, put it that way. So
I mean, the chances of having top, the chances are low. I mean, you can gamble on that, but it's risky enough so that in a race condition like this, Korenth must crash the epoch. He must wait for this cutscene. It's a 2 minutes, about a minute, 2 minutes cutscene, and he will lose the ability to save before Lava's phase 2. So
yeah.
it is really bad because Raster Cecil, if he wins against the Shell, will be able to save after that.
Yes. And if Korenth, so I would say that if Korenth actually gets through both of his next fights, there's 2 more to go. If he gets through both without dying, he probably will win this race. But if he dies once, he's gonna have to go way back and sit through this entire cutscene again, and it's gonna put Cecil way ahead at that point.
Yeah, I mean the cutscene is amazing. We usually never, we almost never see it here. And it enables you to get a very a different ending.
Oh, that's right, it does.
I'm really happy for that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
We have a different ending.
I'm very surprised both have kept Chrono in their team.
Considering that they haven't found like a great sword for him, which is almost the requirement for using Chrono.
Yeah, it's either going to be a Shiva Edge or a Rainbow, and even though they both have Confuse, they're not going to do the kind of damage that another character could do with a single attack.
That's true.
A load vest, a dark helm, and a neon blade. That's not the ideal equipment for Chrono, but in a flea vest. Okay, let's go, Korenth. Good luck.
Good luck to Korenth here. That's scary to have on Chrono here. Although I'm not sure what he found for. Actually, I think I saw a big hand for Robo, but he sold it. I mean, that could make a difference. I don't know. We'll see. It's hard to say. Chrono has speed. Robo has no speed. So.
And Lavos cast stop.
Fight. He will open up with a very strong AoE that will take about 300 to 400 damage, 400 hit points from all your party. You must kill the arms because the arms will cast boomerangs. So those boomerangs, they hit really hard. They can do about 300 to 500 damage depending on your character's defense. So let's look at down. Oh
yeah, he's gonna get hit with one more boomerang here, and it's almost assured that it's going to kill another character.
450.
Oh, no, sorry, he killed the left arm. So he avoided that second boomerang. Great timing.
So who equipped the amulets? Who have the amulet equipped now?
That's a good question, Moon. I think we're about to find out. Ooh, now that you don't want to see that.
That's not good.
That will disable, even if you're wearing status protection, that will disable it for the rest of the fight. So I hope it's Luca and Chrono who are wearing the amulets.
Okay, Chrono will survive the damage from obstacle.
Yeah, obstacle doesn't hit for very much, but yeah, right after that you get Shadow Slay. And between the two, I mean, you're looking at 200, 200,
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, unfortunately, Magus was
Okay,
wearing the amulet. That's okay, though, he has
that's
heals.
recoverable.
He has
That's
heals.
okay, that's okay. Okay.
If he did not have heals here, he would be in a very sticky situation. Just a reminder out there to all of you, get heals if you see them in a vendor.
Always
They only cost 10 gold. You could buy 99 of them.
always buy heal. Don't start lava battle without heal. Okay, things are getting looking good now.
I feel like he's stabilized the fight here, but he probably won't have enough damage output to avoid one Shadow Doom Blaze.
Yeah, so after Flame Battle, we're going to see Shadow Doom Blaze, which is a very powerful AoE attack. He must use the Lapis right now, or else someone's going to die. Because Shadow Doom Blaze does around 400-ish damage. I don't think Magus will survive.
He may. Magus does have good magic defense. Oh boy.
I don't think.
He's clearly gambling on the fact that Magus has high magic defense here.
Oh my.
Here we go, Shadow Doom Blaze.
I don't think. Oh god. Only looking for that.
Chrono down.
Oh, Chrono down again.
I would definitely think about reviving Chrono, but at the same time, you want to have... Oh, now Korenth keeps doing this thing where he uses an ether instead of a tonic, and that is very counterintuitive for me, but it seems to work for him. There he goes.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, so here it doesn't matter if someone dies during that fight because they're not gonna get experience from this fight anyways. If you can actually finish her off without wasting turns on reviving, I say go for it. Korenth made the right decision there. He still has a great time on the clock.
So there's a menu glitch here that you can use in order to open the menu in between the levels, phase 2 and phase 3 fights. So between this fight and the next one, you have a very small, very tight window. As soon as the screen goes black, you can hold the menu and open the menu here.
Oh my.
Oh no!
Oh.
Of course, that's so unfortunate.
It's really unfortunate. I didn't see. It doesn't look like he has a Mega Elixir available. That would be the time to use one if you had it. A couple of elixirs and a full tonic, though, that's pretty much going to do the trick. He's going to be fully healed, but he lost some time there, and Lavos is going to start attacking him.
Okay, this does not bode well for this. Oh, here it comes. Random status. Millennial, when we see the Millennial Guardia.
That's okay, I think, just because Luca does not have an amulet on anyways. So that's the most ideal character for that to hit. Yeah, she's going to get stopped.
Wow, that's good.
But the amulet wearing characters are okay. So that's okay. They can cast a heal. Oh boy. Oh boy. Luca is squishy.
Good to go, but it's touchy.
That's Evil Star attack. That's a half HP for everyone. That's good. That's actually one of the best time warps to go to.
I would say it is one of the best ones. However, he has very little healing.
Indeed.
No matter what happens to him, I guess. It's... Oh my goodness. Korenth, I believe in you.
Ooh.
Lavos really hates Luca here. See, even though Luca's 65 HP, though, the Evil Star will only cut that in half. So what will not kill her yet.
This is a very tricky fight.
Anyway, on the, by the way, on the Magus down. On the right side, we see Cecil doing a similar elevator fight as Korenth did. He's just lacking that AoE physical damage.
If the core is down, this attack, Luca will get a counter, and she will die. Okay, that did not kill the core.
It's nice to have life here too. I was just gonna say, like, Chrono has life. That's nice because he can revive someone and restore a lot of their life.
Luca's down.
Luca's down now. Chrono can still cast life on her, and I mean, he's got to get rid of that middle bit. I guess he could keep spamming life if he has to. If people keep dying. Like, for example, if this takes care of the middle bit and Magus dies from the counter, he could cast life
again. Yeah, I mean, he's playing it very well.
No, it's just not quite enough yet.
No.
He's about... No, that's it. That's a wipe. He's going to have to go through that entire cutscene again, and now Cecil,
wow,
frankly, may be in the lead.
He's only going to gain minutes out of the 20?
Wow, I'd say, I mean, we have to say Korenth, oof. He has one more chance. No, not that. He has one more chance to go back. Try again. He has one more chance before Cecil catches.
This is gonna sync up almost, I think. After Cecil's done with the shell fight and Korenth is done with this cutscene. I don't know how many status protection gears Cecil bought. I didn't see that. I hope he has enough.
Let's see if we can check now.
You know, they're both kind of low level. They're both kind of low level, which I find surprising. Like, this is a team that they may not perform the best if they're at a slightly low level. Magus, for example, he's only 29 here. You get him up to 30. If you get him up a few levels more, his HP gains actually start making a huge difference after level 33. He's going to go from, like, you know, only 400 HP to like 500, and it just makes such a huge difference in the end. But it looks like he's going for Hypno Wave on the Golem Twins. That's a good play. That's a good play.
With Hypno Wave there, you can make the Golems make them go weak, and they will not attack. If you keep casting Hypno Wave after each attack, they will not attack in the boom. But that is a very light. Yeah, that. If you don't cast Hypno Wave as soon as the second attack goes off, that may be a body wipe. Yes, that's a reset. Oh my.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my, this is getting exciting again. Oh god.
See, the thing is, Korenth, the only adjustments he can make at this point are adjustments in his execution. He still has the same gear, same character, same tech. The only thing he can do is adjust his play.
Yeah.
Cecil might have more options than him going, but we'll see. I mean, Korenth is definitely still ahead here.
He is, but I think he has like one chance before Raster Cecil. Only one more chance now. Let's hope for the best. Yeah, so as I was saying, in between Magus attacking and Luca firing up Hypno Wave, there is a slight ATB bar progression from the Golem, so there is a chance that they will counter with a Shadow attack, even if you queue up Hypno Wave
Yeah.
It's very risky. I wiped because they can like do 2 AoE shadow attacks and just wipe your body even if you have hyperwave queued up.
Is that because of the fact you're attacking them with a shadow attack, or is it just random?
I guess it's based on the fact that there is a light ATB bar progression in between each attack.
Oh.
So I think there is like a 1/10th of a chance of that happening. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, it can be scary, and I find
is.
if I'm careful, like if I do these fights in the correct order, it kind of looks like Cecil's being a little more careful here. Ending it with flare, not getting risky, you don't have that problem. Is he going to take out both Golem Twins here? Looks like he is, and he's going to progress now to the Ocean Palace.
So we see.
I can't even look at Korenth's screen now because I'm too afraid.
Just to comment on the fact that Magus and Chrono they had barriers on, so they did reduce the damage. So that's like a non-elemental attack because Magus was receiving like 112 damage from the.
Oh, I thought it was pure physical, but apparently it's non-elemental magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
That we learn every day.
Thank you, Cecil, for showcasing that.
Yeah.
So that's cool. You can cast a barrier on the Golem Twins to reduce, because like we said, between the 2 counterattacks at the end of that fight, you could be looking at 400 to 500 damage. So yeah, if you cut that by 30%, that's a huge
That's a
difference.
huge difference, for sure. And it's a good strategy to have in mind. Because most of the time we don't have access to 3 elemental armor that look protection armor to make that fight go easy.
Yeah, I agree. At the end of that fight, I feel more vulnerable maybe than a lot of other places in this game, just because of the damage they can do on my counter. I always worry at the end of that Golem Twin fight, you know, compared to a lot of the other fights. Yeah. Ooh.
Okay, this is recoverable. Actually, Korenth does not need to worry about healing now. He just needs to worry about doing damage and healing and getting the menu glitch.
He needs to heal Chrono.
But I guess for now he can just attack and heal in between before the final fight, because it's very rare that he's going to attack.
Okay,
right
that's
now.
true. That's true. Sorry, I thought he was up right before Shadow Sling. Yeah.
I actually don't remember what would be his next move, because usually we are able to kill him after Shadow Moonblade. But if you don't manage to kill Lavos after Shadow Moonblade, the next attack they wipe it.
Yeah, he gets a buff. If he has to like fight you a second round, he gets, you know, PO'd. The next Shadow Doom Blaze, should you happen to face it, good luck. Just don't get to that point ever, because you will regret it. Also, even though it's called Shadow Doom Blaze, it is not a fire attack. I just want to put that out there. Red mail will not help you.
Raster, Cecil, stop.
Oh goodness! So he has a double stop, but he did not wipe. He's going with Luminaire instead of heal.
Oh. No healing?
Maybe he already.
Wipe. Oh no! That doesn't bode. Oh god!
Is that a party wipe? That's a. Oh my goodness! Chrono is not down.
Chrono?
He's going for another Luminaire.
Chrono?
Chrono YOLO!
Oh, nice try, Cecil. I have to say that. Nice try.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh god. This is not looking. And the question is, will he reset?
No, he's gonna let the cutscene play out here.
Both players here are going for Las Vegas style gambles.
Yeah, these are Las Vegas. These really are Las Vegas style gambles. Korenth got the menu glitch. That's that puts him in such a better position than his last Lavos core fight. But yeah, I think Neo was right. Both racers tonight made a number of high-stake gambles and basically lost on all of them. Both players did. You know, they had amazing times, or you know, they have amazing time right now, but they really didn't play it very safe the whole time. They both took huge gambles, and in many ways, we're seeing the consequences of that.
So let's chat a little about the Lava Score fight. This is a very tricky fight. It is the fight that you have. It has a lot of RNG to it because Lava Score has a lot of attacks. He does his time warp sequence where he goes to a random area, and depending on the area that he goes to, it's a different attack. So right now we are seeing 1000 AD, Millennial Fair, that's
Chrono down.
random. Oh no! That's random spell and status. It causes a random spell, random status effect on everyone. So
Yeah,
usually,
so even though the obstacle spells from earlier, they will always cast stop, this status will be actually random every time. It's not
All right.
seed dependent.
Let's talk some Lavos core strategies here.
Right. So with this team that they have, what would you do, maybe?
It doesn't matter usually what team I'm taking in. I'm usually taking down the center core, and then if I have some good AoE, I will AoE and heal the person to get the attack,
Oh, shit,
and go right core.
Take us down.
Oh my goodness. This
Take us down.
Oh no!
looks like another wipe.
It looks like. Oh, no.
What kind of strategy would you
Okay,
take
he
in
took out the
for
center
this
bit.
fight, Procky?
He took out the center bit. He could.
Go!
Oh my god, he just.
Oof!
He didn't. Where's his tonics?
Come on.
Does he not have tonics?
Revive. No tonics whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he does,
Yeah.
he does it. Okay.
I just assumed he didn't because he wasn't using them.
Oof.
Sorry, so back to Neo's question. Now that Korenth has kind of recovered a bit here, I feel like I can answer that question. What would I do in this case? Like, this is a tough team to beat Lavos with. Like,
Returns.
you have no options with the left bit. Like, you need to have 3,000 physical damage output, single target, on the left bit in order to take it down. So, Chrono, he only has an Aeon Blade. His Confuse is going to do under 1,000 damage. What are your other physical damage options? Magus and Luca? Well, that's not going to do. He's going to spend 3 to 4 turns trying to take down that left bit. So you got to take down that center bit. And
Yeah.
I mean, he has dark matter, he has flare. I don't know. This is a difficult fight. Like, what would I do in this fight? I don't know. It's difficult. I may have brought Robo in earlier. If I was
But he's
Cecil,
doing the-
No.
If I
No.
was Cecil-
If Luca had Wonder Shot, this would be a different fight. But as far as I can see, Luca does not have Wonder Shot.
it could be a different fight. If I had Wonder Shot here, I might actually risk it on that left bit. But you never know how Wonder Shot's going to treat you. It could probably help you a lot, but it depends on how the Wonder Shot feels.
But I'd say his strategy for so far for this fight, I mean, trying to get the center down. He has like 8,000 HP. He did cast a shield on Luca, so Luca is shielded. She can survive a counter when you kill the center with an AoE. He will the other one will counter.
That's right. This is basically the number one thing you want to do to protect yourself against that counter. So we've mentioned this numerous times now. Oh my goodness, now Lavos is starting to get a little restless there. But if you if you kill the center bit with an AoE, the other 2 bits will counterattack you. It hits for a lot of physical damage. If you have a safe helm on or a shield cast, you're probably going to survive it. Looks like Korenth is doing the right thing there. He's single targeting the center bit. He took it down. Meanwhile, Cecil is in the Lavos 1 fight. Luca just took a squishy damage, just like Korenth did earlier. He's going for another dark matter here. And he's going to use life as well. So they both have the same team. They both have, the same idea of how they can use them here. And I think they're both doing the right thing. But again, this is a team this is a difficult team to fight Lavos with. You don't have AoE heals. With Chrono not having a good sword, you don't have high physical damage output. This is...
Yeah, so basically we have to rely on Flare and Dark Matter for the center, and Dark Bomb and Mega Bomb for the right pod. That's the only option here. Because, we don't have a good weapon for Chrono, and he must keep using items and reviving people.
I might he can still do about 800 damage per confuse, so... It's still a viable option.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's under 1,000. It's okay.
It's still doing as much as a Dark Bomb.
I would definitely be counting my now that Korenth has the center bit revived, I would be doing Flare and Dark Matter, but counting the HP. And then as soon as you get close to 8,000 HP on the center bit, I would switch to a single target, and I would try to get that center bit down as fast as possible here.
Completely agree.
And sometimes even if you have to,
is going very well now.
It is. He's really recovered well, and he's found his stride here because you can tell. Because when this fight gets away from you, it's like it's a downhill battle the entire time.
Very easily, yeah.
Yeah, and he's done the right things here. Like I said, he cast, or like Moon pointed out, he cast shield on Luca. That makes a huge difference here. Oh boy, here we go.
Ooh.
He's doing excellent damage on the right bit too as this goes on, because it still hasn't put his defenses back up.
Okay, this is bad because this is prehistory, and his attack right now will go for a very strong physical AoE attack. Considering the armors that they have, oh boy.
No, it looks like one Mega Bomb should take down the center bit here.
Or killing the center, or preparing for...
Even if it doesn't, he's got the right thing. He's got Spin Cup Q. Yeah, he's doing the right thing. That's Grand. He will cast Grand Stone, and that is his ultimate physical attack.
Which can deal up to 700 damage.
Yeah, even with a shield on, it can still kill you. So you have to be very careful. Looks like Cecil's working his way through this Lavos 1 fight in a very, straightforward, proper manner. He's done.
Cecil's done.
I think Korenth is probably he probably has this now. Like we said, he's got a good rhythm going here. He's not behind at all. He's staying on top of things. And I think any minute here we're going to see Korenth.
Very close to the end.
Just as Raster Cecil is entering the Lavos core fight, Korenth takes the race. At 151.39, Korenth is the winner of Game 1. And let's see if we can't get him into here for a little interview. Korenth, congratulations, dude. That was an amazing race to watch.
The holy crap is that final boss! That is the first time I've done let me intentionally lose to the shell strat. because obstacle stop. And then even after amulets, he decides to disable status effect because I can't kill the second arm fast enough, so it almost doesn't matter that I bought amulets.
Yeah, we noticed all of those things and chatted about them. And here's another thing we chatted about. Korenth selling an amulet in the first 10 minutes and how that could bite him later on. How do you feel about that?
I actually am still happy that I did it. Because...
Really?
Yes. Because having one amulet does not help me in the lava shell fight. Because the only person who would have had it on would have been Chrono. Chrono cannot solo the lava shell fight. So I would have had to spend all my time healing with low damage, low health. I would have still ended up losing to the shell, I think, or I would have taken forever on the shell. Granted, if I manage to kill the shell, sure, I get to have the save point, and that's kind of nice. But I think I still lose to the shell with that team at that level, with just one amulet and it being stop. If it was anything but stop, I would be kicking myself. But with it being stop, and the fact that selling that amulet allowed me to buy the weapon for Luca, which meant I one-shot the entire cathedral, I'm okay with that.
I think I can agree with that.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good argument.
And you won the race.
I
mean, sure, hindsight's 20/20, and it looks great, but
sure. And considering the fact that you had 2.5 deaths to Lavos in the end, and you sat through 2 cutscenes with the epoch, you still got a sub 2. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, the thing is, until I saw stop as obstacle, I was sitting here thinking, we might have been on world record pace if it had been Frog instead of Chrono.
Sure. And
because we would have had the AoE heals and it would have been so much easier. And at the very least, had that not been stopped, I was still on PB pace.
But you've done commentary, you've done restreaming, you know how we talk when we're talking about not having status protection. You probably were thinking a full team stop is what they might be saying that right now as I'm playing, and it's probably not going to happen. But if
as soon as I sold it, I was like, I know exactly what the commentary is going to be. Why in the world is he selling an amulet? You're going to need that status protection later on. And when I got the Prism Shard, I was like, crap, I'm going to have to fight Yakra. I'm not going to have Confuse protection. Then we can start going down the Lavos path. Like, crap, I'm not going to have status protection for Lavos. But if it's anything other than stop and maybe slow, I probably don't care.
I think if you watch the VOD for this, you will enjoy the moment where you got a full stop.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think it was brought up exactly the point in time you sold the amulet, actually.
Yeah. But, I accepted that it was a possibility, but I also said, if it's anything other than full stop, I die to the lava shell, I go in, and then I take the kill because I'll have 2 status protections. But stop is so deadly because you have to cure it. You don't have the option to maybe ignore it.
And also, like, it was a bit of a gamble, like, just selling that amulet, and, like, maybe it was worth it. But I was thinking, hey, if he finds some other status protection along the way, which is perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
You could find a time hat. You could find, another
you could find
amulet.
Gear.
Yeah, no big deal, but
gear.
You didn't, and then it became very scary. But you still subdued that, and I just blown away. This is one of the best races I've ever seen. And Cecil is really holding his own right now against Lavos Core. He had a similar
sub too.
He had a similar pace or similar script to you here, where he had Grant Stone come out now, but didn't eat it. He killed the center just in time. That happened to you as well.
Yes.
And you actually had a really good Lavos fight at the end. I was nervous, but once you got on top of things, I became unnervous. Like,
once I didn't screw up the menu skip, because the first time in, I screwed up the menu skip, so I had to burn both elixirs just to get off of 12 HP.
Now that did make a big difference. However, you came very close to death even during the core fight after that. But you managed to recover and stay on top of that recovery. So I mean that makes all the difference in a Lavos fight. Like,
yeah, if you can get the center down once, you can stabilize. Doesn't help that he decided that, yeah, you know what, both fights I'm going to go to 1000 AD and cast random spell status and yank your status protection off of the person who still has an amulet equipped and cast stop on them again, even though it's random.
Yeah, I mean,
this is borderline the most trolliest Lavos fight that I have seen. The one with you, I mean, it may have been you and Cecil. That I mean, y'all were in the Lavos fights for like an hour.
Me and Taco.
Oh, you and Taco, yeah. Y'all were in the Lavos fight for an hour.
We brought that up during the commentary here, not in such specific terms, but we mentioned that we have seen a race before that had 3 Lavos fights concurrent and battling back and forth, and you just never knew what was going to happen. And we almost saw that here tonight, but I was very impressed with the way that you pulled forward in that fight, and it just goes to show that, like, yeah, we're at the end of this bracket now. We're in the semifinals, and the racers that we're watching can do amazing things when they're put to the test.
Yeah. So I'm looking.
I would say you're working with a very weird kind of equipment from Chrono and everyone else. Only Luca had a red mail and a mermaid cap, and that was it. A silver stud and nothing more.
I was a little surprised when you were using Chrono with an Aeon Blade and you had a big hand for Robo. So what was the thinking behind that? Was it speed or was it something else?
It was the fact that he had a resurrection spell. I knew how bad the Lavos fight could be at the levels we were at with the team that we had, and I desperately wanted a resurrection spell.
So even though Robo would have offered that like AoE heal, it was still more worth having that resurrection spell?
Because it was Luca and Magus. If I had Ayla, I would have wanted Robo, because Ayla has enough HP.
Gotcha. So GG to Raster Cecil. He also pulls a sub 2 out of this seed.
Dear God.
Wow,
and I can't believe he will sub 2 that.
Again, that's a sign we're dealing with some serious high-end players here, because that seed was cruel in so many ways, and they both did a sub 2. Cecil, unfortunately, will not be able to join us for an interview, but congratulations to him. We are going.
Congratulations, Cecil. Yeah.
We're going to go to a game 2. Like I said earlier, we're going to a game 2 on Saturday. That's 2 days from now. It's going to be at the same time, possibly the same channel, but it will be on SpeedGaming. And boy, just keep watching, because this is an exciting series.
Really
right.
Good.
So, Korenth, when you ended up with Hero Metal and Bent Sword at the beginning, were you thinking Magus Castle just like I was?
So when I bought the Hero Metal, if the Hero Metal shows up at Snail Step, I tend to go ahead and buy it just to go ahead and get the check out of the way. Then I get the Bent Sword. I'm like, okay, if I see Frog, I'm probably thinking Magus Castle at that point. We never found Frog. I'm guessing Frog. Oh, I'm just looking at the tracker now. He found Marl. Ayla was in Frog set, so Frog must have been in the future. Marl's on top of Dactyl Nest. So once we didn't get Frog at Cathedral or behind the castle, I was like, it may not happen. And then we get the gate key, and I'm like, okay, Magus Castle's probably off the table at this point. Because as soon as you find a Dreamstone, you don't have to do Magus Castle at all. You just go through Terreno Layer, and that's easier.
Also, we have to mention that this was a pendant at Mount Woe Seed.
The pendant was at Mount Woe. Oh.
Yeah, pendant was at Mount Woe, and then the hilt was at Eris, and the pop was at Geno, which led to the tools. So every other pathway was garbage.
Wow.
And where was the clone? Let's see. Oh, that was at Melchior. So if Cecil wanted to, that was one divergence that definitely gave you an edge, was you did that cathedral check. Not early, but late, but you still did it. That enabled you to get the ruby knife. That was the last thing Cecil did before his go mode. It was about 20 minutes later, and yeah, even if he wanted to, he did Denadoro even before that. So if he got trigger at Denadoro, and if he wanted the clone and the pendant, he would have had to do. Actually, that might have been impossible.
Yeah, because he would have to. I mean,
He would
climb
have
Mount Wall, get the pendant,
yeah, it
go
was
to the future, go back, get the reward from Melchior. Yeah,
it was an interesting seed. It was an interesting seed in that way, where actually there was really only one go mode, and sometimes that happens, and one of the racers finds that go mode, and Korenth pulled out ahead. Luckily, this is a best of 3 again. We're gonna go to game 2 on Saturday, same time. Tune in. Either Korenth
really excited for
sweeps the
that.
series or Cecil ties it up and we go to a game 3. That's what I'm rooting for. So
again, GG, Korenth, GG, Cecil, and thank you, Brocky, for doing commentary with me today.
Thank you, Moon.
Neo.
And thank you, Silver Neo. You're doing tracking.
You're gaming.
You came in at the perfect moments for those little, keeping things going, reading chat. I think we have a good thing going here for our community. So I hope everyone checks out our Discord. I think there's a command for that, maybe? No, never mind. Well, love you all.
Yeah. Thank you again. Have a good one, everyone.
Thanks everyone for coming to watch. Come back Saturday. Watch
Right,
Rocky or watch Cecil come back and beat me.
Yeah, we'll see you all Saturday. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one, everybody.